Hey guys, thank you for tuning in and welcome to today's review. And as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about album number 3 by pop punk titans State Champs. This one is entitled Living Proof, and it is the follow-up to 2015's Around the World and Back. I really enjoyed that album. It was a really memorable project, yielded a lot of fantastic cuts, such as the lead-off single Secrets, which was fantastic, songs like All You Are Is History, Losing Myself, Breaking Ground, Tooth and Nail. There's a lot of catchy, memorable moments on that album, and I enjoyed it a lot. However, I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as their debut album, The Finer Things, from 2013. That is one of my favorite albums of all time. The first moment I heard Elevated, I knew it was something special. I couldn't get it out of my head. I couldn't stop listening to it in school. I discovered it during my senior year of high school. I could not stop listening to it in class. I even asked my bus driver if I could play it on the bus ride home from school, because it was on the 2014 Warped Tour compilation CD, and she let me play it, and she enjoyed it too, so I got a lot of love for State Champs. I saw them on Warped Tour in 2016, met them, got their autographs, the whole 9 yards, and they are just an incredible band, great guys, and it's been really great to see them explode these last couple years and really reach a broader audience, and it couldn't have happened to a better group of guys. So after going around the world and back to experience the finer things, we are finally back with new material. Whenever they released a couple of new songs as part of a deluxe reissue of Around the World and Back and that sort of thing, I was left not necessarily disappointed, but just anxious for new material, and now we finally have it, and they did not disappoint. This album not only vies for status as Album of the Summer, it's got a strong showing up its sleeve for Album of the Year. Front to back, this album is some well-constructed summery pop-punk, not only reminiscent of the finer things and Around the World and Back, of course, and traces here and there. It's also reminiscent of some of the great 2000s pop punk that we got out of the last decade plus, and it's really got that youthful, nostalgic, summery energy to it. And there is an elephant in the room we need to address, and that is producer John Feldman. He produced 5 of the songs on here, including lead-off single Dead and Gone. I know a lot of people are on the fence about that because of the wah-uh-oh vocals that are included that John Feldman's really known for, and there's a lot of clean shimmer that he's known for kind of waxing onto the production value, but I do think the song is performed well enough that most listeners wouldn't mind. I know a lot of people are on the fence about it, but I think it's well performed. I think Derek's vocals are at their best. I think he continues to make his case as the best pop-punk vocalist of this generation, and I think the band performs it well enough with that fiery inertia and energy that is reminiscent of some of their past discography that it really works and it fits the composition, and they're able to carve their own niche and their identity above that glossy production value. So another track like Crystal Ball, which is playing in the background right now, that's another one where there's just so much energy, so much grit to it. The guitars fly at you, and there's that pop net spank with the drums are loud and audible. The bass is well applied, and of course Derek's waily vocals with that wide range and that ability to hit those high notes and really belt it out. It works, and I don't think any vocalist in the genre today can touch him. So that's another reason why this album just works on all accounts. There's songs like the opening track, Criminal, that song kind of leaves you in suspense in the opening moments when Derek kind of ominously croons those opening lines before he belts out and the band explodes with that kick, and the instrumentals really come in full force, and when you hear that, you know that you're in for a hell of a ride, and it's really enjoyable. Songs like Frozen and Lightning off this album are really catchy. They got the great chorus, that ability to just get stuck in your head instantly. Lightning in particular, I was afraid that some of the energy that was found in their debut album, The Finer Things, might be lost in future projects. If there are any vestiges of doubt remaining for me personally, that The Finer Things wouldn't be able to be touched again by State Champs, I was wrong. Lightning really comes close to that, and is really reminiscent of some of the songs that they've released in years past. And then there's songs like Our Time to Go, which is a pop rock ballad, and it really showcases how creative this band can be and how diverse it can be with their musicality, and I love the approach. I know a lot of fans of their past discography might be a little devastated at the idea of State Champs straying from the norm and doing something different, but it works, and you should want a band to evolve. So on Our Time to Go, Derek really carries the track with some strong, emotive vocals, and the composition works. It really does kind of just leave you in suspense. The lyrical content's something to scoff at either. It's well performed and it's well written, and the execution cannot be argued with in any way, shape, or form. And then, of course, there are songs like Time Machine, which is a full pop ballad, so I know a lot of fans are kind of on the fence about that too, mainly because there's another elephant in the room, and that is Mark Hoppus of Blink-182. He produced the song, and he also contributed some guest vocals. Now, I've got no problem with his production, and I'm a huge fan of Blink-182, but his vocals are inappropriately placed. I think Mark Hoppus is a very overrated vocalist. I think his kind of monotone vocals don't suit this kind of composition. I think it's better off to just leave Derek alone. He's obviously the more talented vocalist, and I think the song would be better off that way, but who am I to complain? And now, as much effort as Derek does put into the song, there isn't that moment towards the end where it kind of explodes and he kind of just lets it fly with his vocal performance. And he definitely could. He definitely does it on other songs like Dead and Gone and other songs on the album where he really just lets his vocal shine. Now, he gives his full effort into Time Machine, but he doesn't really just let it fly and let it be out there. But perhaps I shouldn't complain, because if I got it my way, it might be a little too predictable. So, Something About You is another summery, youthful song. Now, it was produced by John Feldman, so it's got that kind of glossy shimmer we talked about, but it works. It's got that kind of nostalgic, youthful factor that we can all relate to, kind of finding young love in the heart of summer. We can all relate to that, so State Champs touch base on that. Safe Haven sounds like an all-time low song that they would have recorded in one of their earlier albums, but it works there too because State Champs finds their own identity within the composition. They don't manage to sound like a ripoff or an appendage coming off of someone like All Time Low. Mine is Gold is another great one where it really strays from the norm musically, where the verses are really up-tempo, but then the chorus slows it down just a tad with enough jacked-up pop-punk histrionics that it should have everyone at Warped Tour this summer banging their heads in unison as they should. Other great ones like Cut Through the Static showcase a lot of catchy pop-punk musicality, and again, if there was any doubt that the band couldn't still pull that off, especially with all the tours they've done with All Time Low and 5 Seconds of Summer and all of the poppy influences they've taken the last couple of years, if there was any doubt that they could still not be them, the doubt's gone, because they are a band all their own, and I think they are solidified as the genre leaders going forward, and I have nothing but good words to say about this album. It's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. My favorite album of the year so far, one of them at least. It's definitely the album of the summer, and I am so happy that this album turned out as great as it did, and I have nothing else to say, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to smack that like button if you did. Be sure to leave a comment, subscribe, and tap the bell to become part of our notification squad. And we will see you next time.